On the 17th day of the month of May, in an early year of this decade we are in right now, the cult show suddenly encountered a deadly threat to its very audience, and this terrifying visage appeared, as such horrors often do, in the seemingly most obvious and likely places.
Hi there!
Little shop, bop, shabop, shop, in the basement shop. Little shop.
That's where we shop for our shops, in the basement.
Tonight's tale of horror and horticulture is picked by producer Scott. I wonder who did that intro, though.
I think it was a benevolent force.
Yeah.
From
above
and maybe below. I do not know. Wow.
It's aliens. I'm not saying it's aliens.
It's me.
Yes, producer Scott, who picked Mars Attacks, and also this other movie about aliens that are wacky.
You're right. I'm seeing a little
theme.
string tying from one to the other.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, on the murder board string.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's true. So how does Last Action Hero fit in there?
I think Arnold Schwarzenegger is a vegetable of some kind.
Oh, okay.
A vegetative life.
Oh, and Romancing the Stone?
There was lots of vines in that.
All right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, there you go. Figured it out.
Basically, producer Scott picks the best films, is what we're saying. Okay.
Let's go.
We got it. Awesome. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us. It is a pleasure to see you. It is true we are not streaming to you live tonight. However, you do have some of us in chat to play along with you. We basically, because there might be singing, we had to be sure and equalize the tunes because some of us might not be perfectly on pitch.
We're going to just run this whole episode through auto-tune.
You only told me that.
See what happens.
That'd be pretty funny.
That'd be awesome.
But hey, so we say cheers to those?
I think we should say cheers.
Definitely.
Cheers to everyone.
Chin chin.
How's that Coke doing, Macy?
Cokin'.
All right.
My kid had her first Coke today. So.
I never thought that I would be able to experience seeing someone drink Coke for the first time who's not like, 3.
One.
So this is a really good day for me.
I know. I'm not really sure how to feel. Like, good parent, bad parent, like,
Good parent. Macy's basically an adult. It's fine.
Well, it's good because Macy was able to make the decision herself.
Oh,
It
Yes.
wasn't something you forced upon her at 5 years old.
Right.
like most parents do.
Right.
Yeah.
Drink
Here,
this
have a
Diet
Coke.
Coke.
We're a Coke family. Have
Yeah.
a Coke.
Yeah. Have a Coke. Have a Coke. No, I love someone having that sweet, sweet caffeine.
Right?
For the first time, I would have my caffeine.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I was probably about her age when I started drinking coffee, so, you know.
I was
Wow.
much younger. I was about 5 when I started drinking coffee. So
I still don't consider myself a coffee drinker. I have it once in a while, but
you do
this
like
is
a
true.
fancy coffee every once in a while. Because
No,
I brought you a fancy coffee before.
have you?
It was a long time ago,
Oh,
but you drank it.
Yeah.
did I?
You had it once, so you're a fancy coffee
I'm a fancy
drinker.
coffee drinker.
You were like, "Ooh, thank you."
Thank you for my
Mm.
fancy
Hot
coffee.
You're like hot chocolate. That's what I see you drinking.
Well,
the
yeah,
most
you know the
of.
problem is my stomach can't handle
The
coffee
acid.
caffeine given to me in a warm state for some reason. Like cold is fine, but when it's warm for some reason, it messes with my stomach. It's bizarre.
I
So-
prefer all my beverages cold. No
Yeah.
matter how cold it is, I want almost always want a cold beverage.
Yeah. There are times though when I do want just
Very cold beverage. I was not expecting it.
when I want a
Speaking
black
of cold drinks.
a black
That's nice.
a nice cup of hot black Joe. So does me right.
I thought you were gonna say blood.
Not
It's
too
a nice
Also.
hot blood.
hot cup of blood. Anyway, anything going on with you?
Yes, this is important.
Okay.
Let me put on the important light to express the importance of this moment.
It's at our conch.
Yeah, I have the con. If you dare to have the con, you not dare to speak. Finally, Kingdom of the Apes.
Oh, that's right.
We've been living out it's like the Ring saga. We've been living out the Apes saga.
That's true.
Producer Scott and I went on a pilgrimage to see our apes in their newest film, and it was so good.
You liked
It
it.
was so good. I loved it. It was a full house. People seemed happy. Everybody was like chilling after the credits. We're all enjoying it, watching them name every viola and oboe player. And yeah, the monkeys have it. Hey, we're the monkeys. I was not disappointed.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
How about you, producer Scott?
Aren't they apes though?
I like to use both
we call it the
because
monkey movies.
yeah,
It's fine.
because we like to call them monkey movies.
I also really loved it. I was very nervous about it because I felt like the original trilogy, it's weird to call it the original, but you know, I felt like it was so good on its own,
Yeah.
and like kind of revisiting that worried me. But man, it was fun. It was heartfelt. It was really like the fight scenes are really violent,
Yeah.
like really violent.
It was like beautiful to behold.
Yeah, so I really liked it.
Yeah.
And I know that these two watched it. They were being really cagey.
Well,
about
I
how
kind
they
of
felt
thought they
about
were
it,
trying to
so-
be like polite because we hadn't seen it and they didn't want to
See,
influence us.
That's what Sandra said. And I said, I think
'Cause I'm an
Caleb
optimist.
really didn't like it, but I could be wrong. And so maybe you can settle an argument for us.
I was not fond of it. No. So, but that's just look. The grosses this weekend in theaters say otherwise. So, I am very happy that both of you that it lived up to your expectations. That's what we want. You know.
We're happy
Yep.
little monkeys. We're happy little
I-
munchies.
I don't consider myself an ape fan, of the movies, but we work with someone that, he's a ride or die Planet of the Apes, and
He's an
you,
apist.
you throw a mocap ape in a movie and he's a happy guy. So I'm
You throw a what ape?
Okay.
motion capture.
Oh, motion.
Sorry.
It's a haircut they have.
Sorry.
No, I like it. It's good. It just, I didn't. Yeah, I thought it was hair, and you didn't like it because you don't like
No,
monkeys and things that bring joy to your friends.
That's exactly what it is. I was like,
Figured.
oh, Sandra Scott are going to like this. I hate it.
Thumbs down,
yeah.
thumbs
No, you know
down.
what,
Five Nights at Freddy's, same thing. Fuck those guys.
Fucking Matthew Lillard's in this ape movie, I bet somewhere.
Where are you, Matthew Lillard? Smell you.
I see you back there.
Is that Matthew Lillard back there?
Yeah, mocap me, son of a
I
bitch. No, you know what? For me, it was I look at things way too logically, as we know. Like, there's no such thing as X-rays in shoe stores in the 20s. But
They're
I
right.
don't care what anyone
True.
says.
Look it up.
Through the 50s, 70s.
Yeah, 20s, some
This don't make sense. Why would you
Doesn't-
install
it
an
doesn't-
X-ray machine in a shoe store?
To make sure you're getting
But-
it scientifically proved
That's
that you're
fine.
getting the right fit.
Anyway, so that's a whole side. We'll talk to you guys about it later. But so I just didn't. There's a few things in there. I was like, but it's like 300 years later, and there's these humans that are just living, and then the girl goes out, and I don't know. I think I was just surprised maybe by that part.
You also have not seen the whole franchise.
That is true too.
So you're missing a little context here. And I know that they
Okay.
recap it for you, but it is a little different if you've seen it.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
And have you heard of evolution? I mean, the Earth is only 300 years old. How could the people of the monkeys?
It's a myth. A myth.
No,
It's a myth, I tell
you. I just think it was weird. I guess that there was some humans that have feral and couldn't do any barely talk, and there's others
they can't
that
talk
were
at all because they were infected by the virus.
Yeah.
But I knew that.
Oh, see, okay. See, I forgot about the
Caleb
virus
gets an A
part.
plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I am aware of sort of what happened.
lore.
You know, but
Yeah.
it just I don't know.
Neil, are you also a flat earther?
I do believe the Earth is square. I do.
Right.
But anyway,
Perfect. As long as we're all on the same page.
I did. You know, I had to think more about that movie now that I am thinking about it because I was trying to, you know what I mean. I was trying to understand it better. So
Rubik's Cube.
I did not dislike it. I like the effects and everything in it. So
Yeah.
Welcome to the Ape Hour.
Would you rather watch that or Planet of the Navi? What's the James Cameron?
The avatars.
Avatars.
Oh, I take apes any day.
Apes any day.
Apes
Apes,
any
any day.
Yeah. Well, nah, I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
movie-wise, I'll
Apes
take
versus
the
avatars.
apes, but actually the special effects in Avatar are really good. They're really
Wow,
good.
I feel like I'm gonna kick you out of the
I
Ape
know,
Club.
I know. Sleeping on the couch tonight.
You also have a bunch of movies versus just two. And I just recently watched The Way of Water. Like, I mean, I could say right now if you want me to.
Yeah.
I watched Avatar, The Way of Water,
Very
and I thought it was terrible.
But now
Yes.
The first Avatar I liked.
I didn't like that.
the length of that one Avatar film is equal to all four of the eight films.
It's the same
So,
investment.
yeah,
That's
same
true.
investment in time,
That's
but
true.
Thank you for
Um,
humoring us while we talk of apes.
yes.
Because we're really excited.
You know
Yeah,
what?
no, I'm glad.
It's
I'm
what
gl-
you
I'm really
guys
glad you liked
love.
it.
I'm glad it lived up. That's the main
Yeah.
thing. I'm glad it lived up to what you wanted it to be.
What did you watch?
I haven't watched any. I watched Avatar. I started a book.
I started a book.
All the Beautiful Sinners by Stephen Graham Jones. Have you read it?
I have not read that one, but I've read many others by Stephen Graham
This
Jones.
is This is the first book of his I've read, and it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Actually, is all his stuff like that?
It varies.
Okay.
I think he's one of the best out there writing horror, living legend. He's a goat.
Okay.
He's one of the goats.
All right. No, it's really interesting. It's there's a renegade deputy sheriff looking for a killer that's like it's cool. It kind of reminds me of like Silence of the Lambs and that kind of stuff. Red Dragon, these like
Manhunter.
sort of procedural type cops and serial killers.
Every child's favorite game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Stephen Graham Jones.
Okay.
But you?
I also read a book.
What?
I read over a long time period, but I finished How to Sell a Haunted House.
Yay!
By Grady Hendrix.
You actually beat me. I haven't read that one yet.
Oh, no spoilers.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
Did you like
also
it?
why I'm saying
Of
that.
course, yeah, no, it's Grady.
Did you laugh?
Did you like the ending?
I had the laughs. I had the, the ending was great, wasn't it?
Did you cry?
Yeah. I didn't cry, no, but
Neil don't cry.
Neil only cries at westerns with Kevin
No,
Costner.
Tom Hanks said there's no crying in baseball, and Neil says there's no crying in my house.
Oh no, it's not true at all. Whenever the Dolphins lose, no. So yeah, no, it was I like I told Jen, I think Jen and I actually read it together because I was trying to get her, to enjoy any type of horror or horror adjacent, even if you want to say, because the book wasn't particularly scary in any means, but
Right. Well, to some people it is.
but it was a lot of fun. I love what he puts in his books. I love the humor that's in his books, and how it's almost like he writes, goes, Neil will enjoy this. I'm going to put that in the book.
Yeah.
Or
He's thinking of you.
I hope he is.
I've interviewed him, and he
So-
said,
Okay, good.
he said,
Right.
you know Neil Perlmutter, right? And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah. And he's like, this is for Neil.
Thank you. Well, please tell him thank you next time you talk with him. Anyway.
I will.
Do it.
But I do feel like he writes, and same for Stephen Graham Jones, like they both write like for horror fans because they're horror fans.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can definitely tell.
Did Jen like it?
I think she did. Yeah.
That's cool.
It was a fun thing for us to do together because like sometimes we listen to an audio together. Sometimes she would just read it out loud, and I would just kind of kick back in bed and
Just listen and enjoy.
yeah. And I guess technically it was an audiobook for me, like almost most of the time.
That still counts
But
as reading. That
It does.
100%
You
still
guys told
counts.
me, so that's why.
Yes. Yep.
But it was fun for us to kind of do it together, and in that regard. So it was cool. Anyway, so yeah, I read a book.
Couple goals.
Yay for me.
Couple
Um,
goals, hashtag couple
Mother's
goals.
Day, which was last week. Happy belated Mother's Day, I guess, by the way, to everyone.
Yeah, all you moms.
We took Jen wanted to see Fall Guy, so we went and watched Fall Guy. My son and I and the missus. That was my second time seeing it, and again, I really liked that film, and I don't know why people aren't watching it.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a very good, fun movie.
Yeah.
And if you like movies and you understand that stunt work in movies is not an easy thing, and they don't get a lot of credit really for what's going on, it's like
Yes.
people should watch it.
Yeah, you really should. This is like a love letter to stunt
Yeah.
people.
If like you're into stunts, especially.
But it's also just it's a fun movie. It's
Yes.
a cute movie. It's
I have to tell you, I only saw one trailer that was pushed to me, and I wasn't picking up anything of like what the movie was about.
Mm.
So I'm wondering, and that's just based on my small slice,
Mm-hmm.
but if maybe they're not marketing it as good as they should, because you guys are saying all this cool stuff about it.
Yeah.
What's it about?
It's a romantic comedy in a way, but it's also an action film and kind of a mystery whodunit, all kind of wrapped together.
Yeah.
But Emily Blunt is director of her first big film. Ryan Gosling has an accident doing a stunt earlier on. He gets brought back in. They have a past together, and then so there's some tension at first. And she's like lighting him on fire and slamming him against things over and over on purpose because she's mad at him. And
I like it. Yeah.
and then eventually they come together and they have to figure out what's going on.
yeah, there's a mystery that has to be solved.
I had no idea. See,
And-
that's so cool.
But the whole time, they're actually doing real stunts in the
Right.
movie.
Yeah.
They're like breaking records and doing all these things. They're like, cool, he did a cannon roll 8 times. And they're in the movie saying, you broke a record. But in real life, they actually did that in real life and broke the record.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or they did like a 250-foot jump over something.
Like
And it was the
dunes
longest
or
jump
whatever,
ever.
Yeah.
They did it in the movie, and it was the real world record. So it's like they're doing all these cool things, that people should go watch it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I appreciate this promotional advertisement. Both Scott and our jaws are like on the floor. We're like, what? I want to see Fall Guy. Move over, apes. You've had your
You had your
turn.
time.
I'm a fall guy.
Like I don't know for sure, Sandra, how you will like it exactly,
Not
because
the biggest romance movie person.
right. Like I
yeah.
think Scott would get behind it. I think
Yeah.
Scott would.
I
have an
love
issue.
a
I agree.
whodunit.
So,
I love even a little whodunit.
Mhm.
And I do like action generally. So
Yeah.
it sounds like a crowd pleaser.
And I
Did
think-
you know that I love rom-coms?
I could
like
kinda-
I love
I
rom-coms.
could feel the feels.
My
you're-
version of this show would probably be just rom-coms.
Then you
Wrong show.
especially will love this movie, and you should go see it in the theater.
Okay.
We're going to go right now. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
But we can't leave because it's your episode, Little Shop of Horrors.
I know your episode
Okay,
just
I'm
your
not-
episode just became Fall Guy.
And one thing we want to let everyone know about that is this very recently happened is we are now affiliate partners of Fangoria magazine. So
Yeah.
if you ever want to go to, first of all, you should go to our merch store and buy a shirt or a pillow or whatever,
Mug.
or an ashtray or whatever it is we sell there. But then go over to Fangoria, and because they have all kinds of cool shirts and mugs and other things as well. And if you put in under the coupon thing, the Cold Show, you will get 20% off.
I am actually going to do that as soon as the show's over.
Oh, okay, cool. So, and then of course when you do that, like they give us something at some point. I think they might send us free stuff to promote. I'm not exactly sure what we get, but
That,
Well,
that
we're
part's
happy.
actually irrelevant.
It is
wanna-
irrelevant.
We want to save you some money. So,
So-
Yeah,
go
we
do
love
that.
saving money and we love horror paraphernalia and magazines
yeah.
and
I mean Fangoria is doing a real good effort at putting out some quality content. You know,
That last issue was fire.
right? You loved it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's kind of cool. And other than that, Caleb, if they want to get our merch, however, since you were the only one that knows how to get there, where do they go?
I am the web address holder. Are you the gate master? No. You would go to www.thecultshow.com/store. So, and you get
Perfect.
all your cult show needs.
Yes, sir. Well, should we run a bumper?
Bumper of Scott's choice. That's too goddamn bad.
Okay, so I don't have 15 bumpers lined up to just pick from. I have one bumper that I just change the video for when you say, "Hey, I want to do this one this time." So, so that's why it's just been that one. If you want to change it,
I like to leave it up to you to
have to
change.
okay. You're the video editor. I'm the live production editor. You
Yeah.
create the
You're the
videos.
DJ.
I play them.
I created the video, and then I give it to you as the producer to pick which one you prefer that show.
I can't help it that there's only one that I really like.
That's fine. So yeah, that's fine.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
No, I'm just sitting here drinking my tea.
I know, me too. We're drinking that tea and say it's none of my business.
He's
can
the
I-
DJ. I'm the rapper.
Can I tell you about Little Shop of Horrors?
Would love it.
This is the 1986 version. A nerdy florist finds his chance for success and romance with the help of a giant man-eating plant who demands to be fed. And what must the plant be fed? Blood.
Blood.
This is directed by Frank Oz, written by Howard Ashman, and Alan Menken did the music, right?
Yeah.
And, of course, based on the film by Roger Corman.
More coming on Corman later.
Yeah, put a pin in that. Producer Scott, talk to us about your relationship with Little Shop of Horrors.
Okay, so I am very bad at picking favorites of anything. This is not my number one musical of all time. It might be my number two.
Wow.
It's in the top three at least. I love the music in this. I love Ellen Green is just a goddess. This was kind of like my introduction to Rick Moranis is actually like an incredibly talented person and not just
multi-talent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not just Lewis.
Well, actually, for me, it was Honey I Shrunk.
Oh.
Mine too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ghostbusters and Honey I Shrunk the Kids, I think I saw at the same
kind of
time.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just it's such a great score. It's a great story. It's a great read. It's like musicals steal from different sources all the time. Sometimes it's kind of corny and sometimes it works. This is, I think, one of the best thefts of original content to make a musical. And I think when it comes to musical adaptations into films, I can't think of a better one. And I think that that's why this film is so spectacular. Is they cut the right songs. The added song, that they have to add to every single musical fits in and is one of the greatest added songs. I think it's probably tied with "You Can't Win" in The Wiz.
Oh, yes.
No.
I love everything about it. I have actually puppeteered the plant on stage. I rehearsed to be Seymour in a show that didn't end up going.
Okay.
Showbiz.
I would drop everything to be in this show.
Wow.
Including us.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
Fast.
first.
Quick. So you liked this adaptation more than Cats? The movie of Cats?
I haven't seen the movie of Cats.
What about the movie of Les Miserables?
Oh God. Oh.
I feel like you're just the answers. You're just
Reading.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the hard thing is like when you talk about like best musical adaptations into films, it doesn't really have a whole lot of competition.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know what's funny is we realized last night, Scott always says, "Oh, I love music theater, music theater guy." Horror. He's become a horror fan over many years. Bit of an aficionado, really, but he's always like, "But I'm not the horror guy." His two favorite musicals involve murder and cannibalism. And I told him, I was like, I don't love this Venn diagram on you. I'm a little nervous for my safety.
So is that Sweeney Todd?
Yeah,
Sweeney Todd in this one.
Yeah.
Sweeney Todd is my number one.
Okay.
That's why it's hard. And,
The Alpha, the Omega.
And I never pick number ones for anything, but Sweeney Todd is my number one. But I think this might be number two.
All right.
And you know what?
Good.
You do have a green thumb and you love to plant. And I think if I go missing, I'm in a plant. Look in the backyard. There's probably a giant pepper that
I mean, let's be honest. Scott really is Seymour. I mean, he's got the glasses. He's got the green thumb.
Yeah.
I mean, he can sing.
And I'm like a klutz?
Well,
Actually,
no, maybe not that, but
no.
accident prone, we'd say.
I would say prone to accidents. Yeah. It's not always my fault though. It's not usually my fault.
It was never Seymour's fault either.
It was never Seymour's fault either.
Oh, okay.
I forgot.
He was kind of precariously up there with the shelves at the beginning. I would, and him tripping with
and you tripped with the terracotta pots. Yeah,
I think Mushniks wouldn't pass an OSHA. If we're being
well, I mean, yeah, there's that, but I also like to think that he was a little preoccupied.
We Twitter pated?
Yeah, because after
not. I don't think that word means what you think it means.
After things started progressing in the film, he didn't fall anymore.
No,
that's true.
He actually rose and became a hero. Well, depending on the ending you watch.
Oh, we will talk about that too.
Yeah.
How about one of y'all, Little Shop? We've all seen it before.
Yeah.
I've done the show as well.
Yeah. I actually saw it in the theater. So.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I dragged my parents to see it in the theater. They had no clue it was a musical.
Surprise.
So yeah, they were really surprised afterwards. I remember them going like, we didn't know it was a musical. You like that? And I'm like, yeah, I like musicals. Hello, that's why I'm always in junior high acting in musicals.
Parents?
My parents were always smoking pot.
They were like,
oh,
what?
So
you do?
Yeah, I know.
Who are you?
Anyway, but I love this film the very first time I saw it, and I almost didn't even watch it for this show because I know it all. I already know it all. But I'm like, yeah, I'll watch it anyway. What the hell? So
sometimes you just need an excuse to put on an old friend.
Yeah, exactly. And my son was actually happened to be there on the couch, so we kind of watched it together. And I had shown it to him before, also, of course.
Yeah.
So it's great. I love everything about this movie, and for me, as being a Muppet kid growing up. Frank Oz was always a thing for me also, so I was always really happy to see him getting these directorial gigs, which of course.
And then in a puppet movie, he knows some guys.
Yes.
He knows some Muppets. Yeah.
Even though it wasn't a Jim Henson Creature Shop,
no.
puppet.
It was still a lot of people from Labyrinth and your favorite Dark Crystal.
Where was Yoda in this joint? I think Yoda was there. You just have to look for him. He's like going by in the back, like. That's my Yoda impression.
Maybe.
He was directing it.
Yeah, exactly. He was pulling the strings from behind. But so I guess how do we run through a musical? Like
it's difficult.
Do you start with the first song?
Well, and I can tell you this real quick.
Yeah.
Because Caleb and I did not get to hold the conscience speak of this. I'm not a huge fan of musicals. I do like this musical quite a bit. And right now, on Broadway, my absolute beloved Jinx Monsoon is playing Audrey. And Corbin Bleu is playing Seymour. And I would fucking love to be there and seeing this. Jinx Monsoon is a drag queen. She's a trans woman, and she's breaking down a lot of barriers and playing a lot of female roles, as she should. And God, there's clips of her singing. It'll make you cry. It'll make you weep. She's just.
And it's actually on Broadway?
It's on Broadway.
I didn't realize they had a re-release.
It's in New York, I should say. It might be a little off, but we'll call it Broadway.
Oh,
I don't know.
Okay.
Nice. Good
awesome.
for her.
Yeah. So, Scott, I don't know about you, but whenever the song Skid Row comes on, which it is on rotation on my phone.
Alarm goes off at 7.
So,
and you start uptown.
Speaking of that, my favorite part of the movie, my favorite part is the Greek chorus of the girls, Chiffon, Crystal, and Ronan. They are so freaking cute with their little cherubic faces. I love their costume changes. I just, and they're dancing, and I love like the element of like Greek chorus is something we just don't get a lot of anymore. So they're my favorite part, hands down.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Interesting.
I would have to say that tracks. I mean, I feel like those three are like the real stars of every.
They're the
show.
glue.
They have the most to do.
Mhm.
They have some of the most challenging songs and harmonies.
Yes.
I
They
think
make it
that's
look
true.
easy. Yeah.
I wouldn't say they have my favorite song, but they have.
Right.
Well,
They have so many songs and so many pieces.
Frank Oz says that they brought the cool to
Oh,
to the movie.
Aw.
You know, like.
that's so sweet.
But then, of course, two of them later went on to be on the Martin, the TV show.
Oh, two of them? I know Tisha
Yeah,
was, but...
the two Tishas actually, Crystal and Chiffon were the two.
Oh,
That's so cool.
Yeah, and they would actually sing on that every once in a while too,
That's
in
so
harmony,
cute.
of course. So.
That Skid Row in the movie though makes the real Skid Row look like a resort town. Like the real Skid Row, a little rougher.
yeah, clearly they're on a sound stage somewhere.
Yes.
You know, I
It's
mean,
not just
think-
a sound stage.
but-
They
No.
are on the 007 sound stage in
I didn't know that.
Pinewood Studios.
Oh, in merry old England.
Yeah, so that was a whole the Skid Row set. You know,
Mhm.
it had the elevated train above or the train tracks. And,
Yeah.
yeah. They built that whole thing.
Wow,
which
I
is-
didn't know that.
From a production standpoint, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I always forget about the stomping in that number, and every time I watch it, I'm surprised by it again. I remember, oh wow, because like the Foley on it is very
Mm.
Crisp.
deliberate, and you get those like it. I feel like they actually put microphones on the soundstage, like on the ground, to get that thumping, because it's like very specific.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
Only
speaks to
in a
yourself.
theater.
Yeah.
Where you get that stomp.
Yeah,
Is that what
exactly.
you're saying?
Trotting
Okay,
it forward.
okay.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
All right.
Cool. Okay.
So yeah, we're introduced to our characters. We sing the song "Down on Skid Row."
Yes.
We're
Yeah.
singing.
We learned basically that I'm gonna call him Lewis again, but Seymour.
A ne'er do well.
Seymour, he was poor all his life.
Mr. Mushnick, you know, took him in.
Gave him
Gave
a job.
trusted
Busted bread and treats him like dirt and calls him a slob, which
Which
he
he
is.
is.
Which is. I mean, yeah.
So-
He knows his place. You know?
Don't sue us, please. We're having such a good time.
But you also learn that they both will do anything
Yes.
to get out of Skid Row.
Anything. Yes.
Anything.
They're desperate. I love the little baby Audrey too so much. I mean, I think Audrey too stays pretty cute the whole darn movie, even when it's fiendish.
Right.
But the little one in her skirt, just give me little kissy.
They do a very good job with it.
Yeah.
I do like when he brings Audrey out and they're doing the whole, what do you call it, Audrey too? After me? She does that little squeak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you look
Yeah.
at Mushnick the whole time, he's looking at Seymour, then she squeaks, and he looks at Audrey. Just the look on Vincent Gardenia's face, it's actually really kind of funny.
They don't
He's
make them like that
brilliant.
anymore.
He's just like, what the hell, these two? It's just kind of funny. But, yeah, it's fun. It's
And
good.
Chewy, I like the name Chewy. I think that's so
Chewy.
cute. And then Christopher Guest comes in,
Yeah.
random.
What a
First-
strange and unusual plant. Wherever did you get it?
I just like that he's credited as the first customer.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's just call it what it is.
He is the first customer.
Which leads you into Daru. No?
I
The
was
song?
walking down the.
Yeah. The
Oh, how he got the plant
Yeah,
song.
that's
Yeah.
the song. Daru.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Do-da-do.
But there was just an eclipse that we didn't get to see.
I know. There's probably an Audrey here somewhere now.
Where is it? It's in the path of totality.
Yeah, well, it's okay. It'll be all over the world soon. So
we need a Tui in this studio. It just occurred to me. We need a little Tui in the studio.
You need to find us one. Okay.
we've got Space Invaders.
That's close.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
They are from space.
Before you can blink, the shop's doing well.
Yes.
And we've
suddenly.
we've got to get some press. We've got to get on the radio. And that brings us to our second guest spot.
Yep.
Yeah, Wilkinson. Wilkinson? Wilkerson.
Wilkin.
Wilkinson?
I wrote it down. Wilkinson. Yes.
I had it right.
On WSKID Skid Row Radio.
Rest in peace, John Candy.
John Candy.
Such a delight.
Oh, it was.
That whole thing felt like it was improv. Didn't it?
It might have been.
Oh, it probably
scripted.
was.
Yeah.
Here, just come in and
Be silly.
do this.
Do like this 50s radio show.
And poor Rick Moranis is like, what? Okay, actually, what is happening
Yeah,
right now?
exactly, yeah. And if he weren't like pointing at the mic every time he wanted him to talk.
Yeah.
Feels like producer Scott pointing at the mic for us.
It was actually really good to see John Candy again.
Yeah,
So,
it was so
absolutely.
funny.
Miss that guy.
Yeah.
I sent a card to someone once. I should have bought a million of them, but it had this really sweet, funny, illustrated John Candy on it, and it said, "John Candy and I just want you to have a good day." And I sent it to a friend, and I'm like, God damn it, that'd be a perfect card for so many occasions.
That would be. Wow.
Yeah.
So something else I really appreciate about that puppet in that scene is they're using the same kind of puppet that they do in the stage production, where Rick Moranis is actually the puppeteer in those scenes.
Right,
Oh.
right.
So his arm that's holding it is a fake arm and hand, and his arm is up in the puppet. So the next time you watch that scene and the plant is like staring at that woman's butt and like going to bite it, and he
Right.
that's him in his own hand. It's like Sacco.
Cool.
So all of that characterization
know.
and that fun that character that comes with it, that's Rick Moranis. And I thought I think that's really cool to watch.
Yeah. I'll have to go back and watch it again.
Right.
You call him Slick Rick Moranis.
Slick Rick. All right. That's cool.
It makes sense, though.
Wow.
So Audrey has a problem. She has a horrible, horrible abusive boyfriend, apparently, and she's never chosen well for her romantic partners. And our girls, the Greek chorus girls, they try to help. They try to help her out. We love it, females helping females, but she's just like, no. And we'll find out later it's because she doesn't think she deserves a nice guy, which is so sad. But she could surely do better than the character she's got. The
Orange Scribello, DDS.
When we find out that she actually has always really loved Seymour. She fantasizes.
Yeah, she wants a better life.
Somewhere that's green.
Somewhere that's green.
So we're sitting here on the couch and we're watching this. And Sandra first says, I think we cut this when I did the show. I was like, you cut somewhere that's green?
We didn't cut it, but we actually sped it up.
Okay.
Like, we sped up the song a little bit.
And so she's talking about how it's slow and they sped it up. And she looks over. She says, are you crying? I am sobbing. Tears are just pouring down my face.
I'm just like talking on about, we sped it up. And Audi's just like.
That song is a masterclass. It's, there's so much emotion in her voice. And I really like the direction and the way that the two of them work together in this little house with these kids. The imagery is brilliant. I mean, it's
it's great.
It gives
but it's
so
funny
much John
at the same
Waters
time,
to
you know, because you've got the double beds and you've got the giant enormous 12-inch screen. You got
all the trappings.
Yeah,
so
you've got the two-tone lawn that he's mowing out front. Like it's funny, but it's also
They're having a Tupperware party.
I want this thing, you know, and she's I get it.
I mean, basically, they both just want a better life, a normal life, and that can be so relatable, can't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's and it's sad, and it is kind of funny. She has like a sling that's like it's like fishnet, basically. And her performance is just absolutely. it's so good. It's one of those where you like, I think when I saw it when I was a kid, I was like, oh, she's just being silly, but like you don't get all the like the nuance and how hard everybody goes in on this film.
And she was she was actually from the show. That's also important to.
Yes, yeah.
To
Originated the role.
She originated the role.
She wasn't wanted. I think I read that they wanted Cyndi Lauper, who said
What?
no.
I mean, we all love Cindy.
They may have asked Streisand, maybe, which just
make no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, makes no sense whatsoever. But I mean, so I'm watching the extras on the Blu-ray last night, and Frank Oz is just like, I know everyone says that, but I just cannot see anyone else playing that role, and it's, you know,
yeah,
it's unfortunate that maybe it's not unfortunate. I'm guessing she had a long stage career.
But she's still
I
working.
Hope she did,
I
you know,
believe.
or does. But never crossed over into to movies.
Yeah, she's
in the
done like a
Professional
little bit
briefly.
of stuff and like some
What's
TV
that?
voice
She was
work.
in the
Professional,
Professional
correct.
briefly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, she
wiped
does
out.
like some voice work and stuff like that
Right.
Okay.
now. Yeah.
And she was in that one TV show that like Pushing Daisies. Was that a show?
Was she?
Oh yeah, she
She's
was.
on
She was
Pushing
one of the
Daisies.
ants.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. I forgot about
She's one
that.
of the
I
ants.
never watched that show, but now I kind of want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
didn't
that.
watch
I
Pushing
liked
Daisies?
that
No,
show.
I didn't. I
With,
know.
Lee Pace.
Lee Pace before he was Lee Pace.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, so did you guys, when you ate frozen dinners when you were kids, were they not in tinfoil anymore? Like, were they already in a microwavable plastic? Like, I remember when we first got them,
The first, yeah.
they would be in the oven and they were in the tinfoil like they served in the movie.
I think I had a frozen dinner like once as a kid, and it was not in tinfoil. It was a kid cuisine.
Okay.
Yeah,
It had a penguin on
I
it.
think the first
No.
time I had a TV dinner, I was probably 18
Oh, wow.
and
okay,
struggling.
okay.
So yeah, I didn't have TV dinners as a kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Your parents actually cooked for
He
you.
had every night a Thanksgiving feast.
Daddy Warbucks would deliver a pan to him.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I think my mom got some baby. No, I don't. I really don't think I ever.
No, and I also
No,
think
that's not
it was
true.
it was an extra expense that, you know.
That's kind of how it was in my life growing up. Yeah.
I am lying because I remember the corn. I don't remember. I don't know if it was like children's ones like
It was
the
kid cuisine.
But it might have been kid cuisine. It might have been banquet or whatever. But
Swanson.
I do remember having them at my aunt's house when I was little.
Yeah.
Because I loved the corn. That was my favorite.
They
part,
just fed
like
it to
the
you because
corn.
they're like, look, the child will eat
Right.
this.
I don't think that was in tinfoil though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was yours in
No.
tinfoil?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
When did they get rid of that?
Hungry Man was all like covered in, or all of them.
Did you not have
Swanson's.
microwaves as children?
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh, really?
Nope.
How old were you when you got a microwave?
I'm sorry. I forgot that you're cooking over a literal fire.
Exactly. I mean, the
I
shoe
wanted-
store had an
I
X-ray
wanted-
machine, but I didn't have a
want to say,
microwave.
like
Cookie dinner and that. Teens?
10 to 12.
Okay, tween. How about you?
And we were probably late,
Yeah,
but
get a microwave.
We moved into a house that had a microwave in the kitchen already. That was our first one on Patrick
Mhm.
Court, and that was
well, there you go.
8th grade.
Okay.
Okay, so that's
so-
like 12.
Yeah.
Oh my
Are,
God.
are microwaves
A
Gen
luxury?
X's like home computers? Like we were like, yeah, I remember like 8th grade. We got our first like computer in the house. Gen X is like, we got a microwave.
Yep.
I remember being excited. We got it for Christmas.
Oh.
It was our gift, you know.
We also didn't have VCRs in our house from the minute I was born. My grandma had to buy us the VCR.
Aw.
Yep. Now we had to, when you wanted dinner, you had to actually plan for dinner.
Yes.
Like you had to turn your oven on and let it heat up.
Letting it heat up.
You know,
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
These days you guys would lose your shit. You'd be pulling your hair out.
How
Not
do I
that y'all
just
were
heat
ever
this thing?
home for dinner. You were just, they'd all forgot about you out in the woods in the street. and your
They had to make
bicycles.
commercials to remind your parents they had kids.
It's true.
I've seen those commercials.
True story.
They'd find me in the milk carton and go, "Oh yeah, I remember that guy."
Oh, let me call them.
Is that the one that liked musicals?
He's a crazy kid.
I thought he was just some guy we rented to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Audrey too is getting bigger and bigger, and the store is looking really nice. Oh, Audrey, Tui needs blood, and that little adorable plant, I'd absolutely feed it blood. I'd be like,
Yes.
of course, honey. How much blood do you want?
Yep, you would. I mean,
And Scott would too. No.
poor Seymour's got the bandages on all the fingers, opening them up.
Feed me.
So this is the first example that I want to point to of they made cuts in the film
Okay.
to musical score, The Meek Shall Inherit, which is
Yes.
a great song.
Yes.
The entire version is on the soundtrack,
Right.
but only like one small little part. And there's actually like a kind of powerful moment that Seymour has in the full version that talks like, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Right.
Enough is enough. And then he really says, okay, I can't stop because of Audrey. It's like kind of like, it almost brings you to like understand why he's doing
Right. Right.
Yeah.
these
Or is it
things.
just an excuse for his own bloodlust?
Oh wait, am I think I'm a little bit early.
I mean,
'cause
it's a little-
that's
you're a little
after-
ahead, but
I am
that's
a little
okay.
ahead.
That's okay.
That's all right
fine.
then.
Walk it back.
There's when the store's like thriving, and she's putting together a funeral arrangement, and it's the white lilies with glitter and the black ribbon. I'm like, can I have that? I love it. More glitter, girl.
See, very
What
quickly.
is the song that's playing when he's feeding Tui?
Some Fun Now,
Some Fun Now. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. which is a good song too.
Yes, it is.
Like when they're on the three gals are on the roofs up there dancing and
Oh yeah,
Singing their bit.
everything's landing in his hand. They're doing like the cha cha.
That's the song.
Yes.
Yeah.
little almost reminiscent of West Side Story. The
It is.
beginning of
It's
the
an
beginning of
homage,
the
I
second
think.
act.
Yeah,
So
I think it's
Yeah.
an
There's a
homage.
long history of musical theater of aping other shows.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was deliberate.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Makes sense. Something works.
So Steve Martin, we're introduced to his character, is so
He's a
cheesy.
professional.
He's on a green screen, kind of like how we do here, and
Blue screen.
blue screen.
yeah, back then, right?
It was blue. It was blue. There's in his song. There's a part that I like where it's like the POV from in a mouth.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I like that part.
That is pretty
And the
cool.
random altar to his mother. I love that.
Oh,
When I was
Mama.
younger, just a bad little kid, my mama noticed funny things I did.
Like shooting puppies with a BB gun. I'd
Poison
poison guppies, and when I was done,
It's actually quite
I'd
dark.
find a pussycat
Oh,
and
it's-
bash in its head.
That's the thing. Like a lot of it's super dark, but
Pretty
So
dark.
my mama said.
when you sing it, it's.
What did she say?
Oh my god, they won't stop.
I
This
know.
was my introduction to Steve Martin.
Oh really?
Oh,
I
wow.
had
Okay.
never seen
Babies
him in
for
anything
Steve
else.
Martin.
Wow.
Yeah. And I found out he was a big deal, but I
Right.
had no idea
Okay.
who he was.
Yeah, for us it was like Steve Martin with black hair. What's going on?
Yeah, it wasn't white.
He has
Damn.
really good moves.
He does.
Like
Yeah.
whenever he like stops and the motorcycle goes behind
Yeah.
him. But like when he comes out of his mother's shrine in the closet and he like
Yeah.
kicks in the air and just like dances along, like I bet he didn't even know he had those moves.
He's a pretty talented guy,
Yeah,
Steve
he's
Martin.
also a
So
pretty
funny.
physical guy when you look at a lot of his older
That's
stuff.
true.
He
Yeah.
did-
Yeah.
That's true.
He did a lot of wild and crazy.
He was literally a wild and crazy guy. Yeah. On
He did have a
SNL.
lot of
a
physical
lot of
comedy.
like body, physical
Yeah.
comedy. There you go.
Yeah.
And we still love him to this day. Bless him.
That is a great. I memorize. I mean, I memorize all the songs, but that's one that I could easily
Perform
I could perform. Yeah,
right now.
easily if I could. If he wouldn't get shut down for doing it. How's that?
I think we're already shut down.
No, we're done. Okay, no one's even watching this anymore.
Well,
But
if we were live, we'd be in trouble.
Yeah, if we were like,
right.
I think of his character as if Elvis and Dennis Hopper from Blue Velvet had a baby.
Oh, okay.
That would be Oren.
There you go.
That would be orange.
I know one of those references.
Dennis
Interesting.
Hopper. Yeah, Blue Velvet.
That's a pretty good.
That is not the reference I know.
I know it's not. Which
Yeah, who's
scarred me for
Elvis?
life. Yeah.
Blue Velvet.
Yeah, Blue Velvet. I saw parts of it way too young.
Mm.
And I mean, I'm a massive David Lynch fan. I fucking love David Lynch. But I Blue Velvet still have like a little bit of a trauma response.
Really?
Because I was like, I
Wow.
remember, I'm sure like my parents or somebody was watching it, and I just remember like, you know, like peeking around like you do, and I was just like, like it's horrifying. It's horrifying.
Wow.
So
It's
maybe
one of those things. We have to pick that one.
I know.
I never knew that.
Trust me, it's been on my list.
Okay.
It's like one of the only David Lynch films I haven't seen.
Yeah, it's funny. I think it's on my list because I've actually never seen it before.
Oh.
Could you get that for the cult film series?
I've done it before. I'm pretty
I
sure,
do, yeah.
right? Haven't we?
Actually, yeah, because I have the
Yeah.
Blu-ray at home. It's just sitting there, and
Oh,
I still
okay.
haven't watched it. So
We've done it.
Yeah.
Well, fine then.
Cool. No, hey, you know,
You're probably due for a repeat.
I don't remember last time we did it, but
Anyway,
cool. That's good to know.
I digress.
Follow it up with Fire Walk with Me.
Of course. But that's so
Maybe.
niche. You have to have... I think you have to have an appreciation. You can't just throw Firewalk at me at people.
Sure, you can throw anything you want at them. They
See
may
what
not like
happens.
it, but you can throw it at them.
Cause I'm a dentist.
And a success.
Say ah.
Ah!
Say ah.
Ah!
Say ah.
Ah!
Now spit.
What is happening?
I think Scott and Neil are very excited.
Why didn't we watch this together, Neil?
I don't know.
This was a missed opportunity.
This was a
It probably
huge
was,
mistake.
actually, but-
Why don't you guys watch it together again?
It probably was. Because everyone knows that, not everyone knows, but people in this room know that Scott and I did a fine little duet of Suddenly Seymour together at his last
We really did.
2 birthdays ago.
It was
But-
a darn good dude.
I mean, I can't sing, but
People
I
clap.
tune.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you weren't there. That's
I had
right.
left already.
I
Sorry.
forgot.
People
Sorry.
clapped.
He did all one of them.
I think it was
It
me.
was you. Well, I mean, I applaud both of you right
Me and the
now.
cats.
That's right.
Retroactively. But
The Tui speaks.
yeah.
Yes.
He says, "Feed me."
Feed me.
Be me.
Feed me. Does it have to be blood? Feed me.
Does it have to be mine?
Feed me.
One of the things, I have a couple of things that I
Okay.
love about Tui. I love that every little vine moves. I think it's the cutest thing, and they get more animated like as it goes on. And I love her little giggles.
Okay.
Like makes these like creepy little giggles. It's so cute.
Yes. You called him her. Sorry, the plant her.
I
Is it
sometimes,
a her?
you know
Okay.
what? Honestly, I call Tui her and he and Tui all interchangeably.
Okay.
This is
Yeah.
actually a thing
Yeah,
because
like in
Tui
my-
is
yeah.
a mean green mother,
Okay.
and that is not for MFer. That is,
Yeah.
I mean, literally, she is creating.
She's the
The
mother.
mother of all the.
And when we did the show, we had a girl playing Tui.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so,
Yeah.
I mean, she's big, so she has a very low voice.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. I've always.
I've heard it both ways.
Yeah.
I say he a lot myself,
Yeah.
but I have heard it both ways. many
That's
times.
interesting. Okay. Yeah, because I've always assumed mean green mother meaning.
Right.
I think
they're
it's
just,
an
they're
effort.
just, they're just trying
Side.
not to drop an F-bomb.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know.
I think it's fun. It's up for interpretation. All that matters
Yeah.
is that it's Tui and it's here to eat.
Right.
And that's all that matters.
All right.
Forever referred to as they. How's that?
That works.
Little Tui.
Of course, voiced by
Levi
Stubbs, yes, and
Yeah.
the Four Tops.
Which, whenever you hear his voice at anything else at this point,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, that's
It's Tui.
Yep. Tui.
Yeah.
It's just so recognizable.
Absolutely.
It does, of course, some wonderful
I
job.
wonder if that like kind of hurt his career at all.
I bet it didn't.
I don't really
Yes.
know a
I don't-
lot about his career, but
I don't
really,
know that the Four Tops are really doing a lot.
Exactly.
I mean, I feel like you
except
could-
for putting out those.
PBS!
Like, yeah.
Caleb and I talk about those all the time, like the things that like moms watch, where it's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, the Four Tops," and they come out and they sing.
Right. Trying
Yeah.
to sell their
Their
gold,
compilation.
whatever.
Yes,
Time
exactly.
Life, Gold records.
Yes.
Including the Four Tops. I'll be there.
Mm,
Yeah, I would
sweet
agree.
sounds.
I think "Feed Me" is one of my favorite songs from this
I agree.
thing.
Well,
I don't know why. I just
It's
love
pretty
I
funny.
love the interaction between the two of them and how
Yeah.
he's trying to coerce
And he
Seymour.
gets him around to it.
Right.
I
don't
mean,
know.
I can't pick favorites. It's between that Suddenly Seymour and Somewhere That's Green. Those are the three powerhouses, the holy triumvirate.
Holy Trinity, triumvirate.
But yeah, especially that moment, like after Orin, I'm sorry, Doctor. I'm sorry, Doctor.
Right.
That duet that they
Yes.
sing at that point is like this great pivotal moment in the entire show that's just so high energy and like it gets you really excited for murder.
Right.
Like, oh wait,
When they
actually,
start
what is
singing,
this?
the guy sure looks like plant food to
Guy
me.
sure
Yes.
looks like
Yeah,
plant
yeah,
food to
okay.
me.
It's got that thumbing bass line
If
as
you
well.
wanna rationale, it isn't very hard to see. No, stop and think it over, pal. The guy sure looks like plant food to me. The guy sure looks like plant food to me. The guy sure looks like plant food to me.
Oh, whoa.
There you go. I swore in my life I would never sing in front of an audience. So
And here you are in front of the entire
the entire world to see this and
You know what?
put some really negative remark in the comments below.
We're not live. If you want to edit it out.
That's right.
you
No,
can.
don't you dare. And also, because you can sing better than you're giving yourself credit
Yeah, for sure.
And also, people don't even need to watch the movie. You guys are just doing the whole movie for them right now.
He's so nasty, treating her rough.
Back and around and always talking so tough.
You need blood and he's got more than enough.
I need blood, he's got more than enough.
You need blood and he's got more than enough.
It's like we're breaking the fourth wall.
So go get it.
Bum, bum. There you go.
Get that blood.
So
Cut to.
Yes.
there was one night when I was puppeteering Audrey 2, where
Is that euphemism?
where the actor who was playing Tui was sick at the last minute and couldn't do the voice, and so I was inside this giant puppet with a microphone voicing Audrey 2 for the whole show.
Wow.
And it was like one of my favorite theater moments.
I bet.
You were basically the Masked Singer.
I mean, I
Before
kind
there
of
was
was.
a Masked Singer.
I mean, I like because all of those scenes, like both like smaller Tui during Feed Me and then bigger Tui during Mean Green Mother, which we did do in our stage production. I'm in there like singing, frantically puppeteering. It was wild.
Sounds like a blast.
Yeah.
Sounds
You were
like
having a good time.
sounds like a
having a
sweaty
really good time.
plant.
That's like you're on your own world, just doing your thing, so happy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
That's
I said,
cool.
I would drop everything. I would drop everything to be in that show.
Bye,
I
Sandra.
dropped my job.
You know.
Bye.
Bye, Stitches. I'm off to tour the world in Little Shop of Horrors.
Bye, Beard. Bye.
Oh yeah, for sure. Gone.
Go on. That's historical. But yes, okay, Caleb was saying, enter Arthur Denton.
Arthur Denton. Arthur motherfucking Denton. Okay, now this I read so Arthur Denton was played by Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
And so all of his lines were totally that was all ad lib.
Ad lib? Okay.
I was
I could totally see that.
just like turn the camera on and go.
Right.
But he created like this whole history.
Oh yeah,
of
about
this
the
character.
chocolate bar and the dentist that drove a Corvette and
like explaining why he is the way that he is.
Right.
Like I think that's the most like character preparation work Bill Murray did for any role that he's ever done.
Yeah,
in the past.
I mean, yeah.
Or future.
But the fact
Except for
that he's
maybe
got his
Garfield.
records with him in his jacket and he's putting his own gauze pads.
He knows the routine.
That is really funny. He put in the mouth, yeah, got the bib, the whole thing.
Right.
It's fantastic. That is a really funny scene.
Thank you.
Yeah, and he's like
Thank you.
rubbing his shoulder, like caressing his shoulder. Actually,
Oh, that on the back of the show.
Yeah.
That was.
I love it.
That's a little extra, just makes a little more uncomfortable.
And it
But-
makes Steve Martin's reaction at that point.
Yeah.
Huh.
Like that, it makes it understandable why that was like what brought him over the top. Like, get out.
Right.
Yeah. But even before that, when he's selecting his tools and he's showing them to it, like, and he's like, oh, or like smacks
The way he
his,
hits his
smacks
head on
his
the
head on the lamp.
He's like, oh my god. All happy. Gonna get a candy bar. Gonna get a candy bar. But then with Steve Martin, though, after he realizes that it's just not going to get the reaction, he's just like, get out of here. And then Bill Murray's like, what's the problem with spitting out the things?
He's so disgusted.
Yeah, it's hysterical. Goddamn sicko. So good.
This scares you, right? You'd scream.
Oh yeah, because then Seymour's there because he's got a gun.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's come to do murder.
Seymour's got a gun.
The whole world's come undone.
Yeah, he's gonna shoot him, feed him to the plant.
Yep.
But he doesn't end up having to
Nope.
because the doctor ends up gassing himself to
Yes.
death. So the blood is not
a good
really
little
on his
song in the original stage production that was cut that I would have loved to see Steve Martin sing, but as it is.
See, I don't know the stage production.
Yeah.
Well,
Really?
I've watched it like some on YouTube, so I don't know it very well. But yeah, I mean, I would someday I need to go actually check it out, like more.
Let's go
Study
to
it.
New York and watch Jinx.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
In it right now.
For sure.
Let's do it.
So he does produce the Dead Dentist. Audrey wants it chopped up though into little pieces,
Right.
and Mushnick sees him.
Yes, he does see
Yeah.
the chopping.
Mr.
What's
Mushnick
Mushnick
sees.
doing there that late?
Yeah, and
That
then
seems kind of weird.
I know. I'm sure he was like embezzling or
I think
something.
he's doing something sleazy.
Yeah,
So
had a DL
hook up.
side chick or something.
Yeah.
fun little trivia since you're not familiar with the stage production.
Yes.
Another song that is cut before he realizes what Seymour is doing is called Mushnick and Son,
Oh yes, yeah.
where
Yeah.
Mushnick decides he wants to adopt Seymour
Oh.
in order to have ownership over the plant and to
Right.
kind of like
Got
keep
it.
control of Seymour. And so that's kind of like an added emotional stake. to this
Emotional
whole thing.
damage.
Oh, what a dick!
Yeah.
All right,
'Cause
he
then
got,
he-
so he got what he deserved.
Yeah. Oh,
In
yeah.
the movie, it's kind of like, well, I mean, that sucks, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you've come this far, so
Right, and he's like trying
But
to.
now that totally makes sense.
Yeah,
you know?
because he's like, oh.
His little turn, like,
Yeah.
I could just let you
Yes.
go. Just teach me how to feed the plant. Like,
Right.
it does not come as a surprise at that point. It's
No,
like, okay,
no.
Heartbreaking
Got it.
though. That's like
Okay.
unkind cut right there.
That's cool. That's cool.
So I don't remember what happens after the plant eats Mr. Mushnick.
He gets bigger.
He gets really
It gets
big.
bigger. Because my next note is like, I thought this was so flipping cute, is sometimes how Tui is pouty. Like
Mhm.
it's a
Yeah.
pouty little Tui because it wants to eat more people. And it's like, you can't just be pouty because you want blood. But it's super cute. And he knows how to use the register and how to make a call. And he's like tapping the little fingers and then trying to get the coin.
I like that you point out how pouty it is, because what's so special about the puppet in this film is those lips.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's something that you just can't
It's how
capture
it's-
on the
it's how it
stage. It's not
expresses.
something and because it's practical and not CG, it
Hell yeah.
it makes it even more real and believable, and like, you're so cute, but you're
I mean,
so
yeah,
murderous.
because it only has so many ways to emote. It has the lips. It has kind of it like what it can do with its vines.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it making a call and
And an
using the
incredible
register.
voice. Incredible voice.
Yeah.
Yes. No, they do. I mean, they.
So cute.
That's what's so impressive. I was even last night watching it again. I was just still remarking at how incredible the animatronics are. How
Yeah.
that thing just. It moves so quickly and it's so big. But the
It's
lips,
huge.
everything articulates that can possibly move.
Yeah, and the inside of the
So.
mouth, like the tongue,
Right.
obviously, but even like the tonsils,
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
and stuff, like moves and
Right.
has like some movement to it and like realism.
Yeah, no, it's great.
No, it's-
The
it's-
uvula.
Yeah.
Uvula. There's actually before he eats Oren even. There's the scene when they're doing the what was the one again where they're talking to each other, trying to convince each other.
Oh, the go get it one. Feed me.
Go get it.
God dang it! Is it feed me?
Feed me,
Yeah.
go get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry,
We've
my
established.
brain. But anyway, when Seymour is doing his, but I can't,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
Anyway, and then he's got one of his leaves, it's kind of like on his chin,
It's like,
Yeah.
and he's doing like with the vine, doing something with the other one. And
Yeah.
It's like, wow, it's really
Tell
good.
it to the Marines.
Exactly. It's really well done.
I don't understand that reference if there's something there, but I just think it's like fucking hilarious. Why bring the Marines into this? I don't know.
So suddenly Seymour happens.
Yeah. Well,
Which-
the police are looking for
Yeah.
Orin.
Yes, Orin.
So Seymour goes over across the street to Audrey's place and says, "What's going on?" As a concerned
Yep.
person who knows that he just murdered, or not murdered, but fed a
And
dead
it turns
boyfriend
out
to a
she's
plant.
like, no, I'd be happy.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah.
But it comes out, and this is where you get that she feels she doesn't deserve anyone. How she met the dentist working in I forget
Night
what she
spot.
called it, a nightclub.
Yeah.
You know,
The gutter.
The gutter.
The
It's
gutter.
called the
The
gutter,
gutter.
right?
Yes.
Yes,
funny.
the
But she
gutter.
also confesses that she's always liked him too, and then they have this amazing, one of the best love duets of all time.
Absolutely is.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely is. And it's not an easy song to sing for either
No, it is
for
not.
either part.
Neil knows that you did a whole duet.
And
Yeah.
that's what's really so impressive because
Well, thank you.
What's so impressive about Neil? Yeah.
But no, Rick Moranis kills.
He actually
Yeah.
can sing.
Nails the harmonies, and there's some really challenging high notes in the harmonies.
Yeah.
And a lot of times Seymour is singing with kind of a choir behind him as well,
Mm,
which can sometimes hide some flaws. But
right.
Now there's so much auto tune, which I don't think is a bad thing. but
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
so much auto tune and like
Editing.
editing and like little tricks and
Yeah.
voice doubling
Mhm.
that they do with these actors that they bring in to do like some musicals
Yep.
in movies, and like you can just tell they're not real singers. Rick Moranis has some vocal training, and it's very clear. And I don't know if anyone, I don't. Did people know that before
Mm.
Little Shop?
I mean,
He probably sang on, joke songs or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like on what was that?
SCTV?
Yeah, SCTV was when he was on,
Yeah, some Canadian thing he
Yeah.
probably did.
And John
Right.
Candy.
Yes.
And Eugene Levy.
Levy, yeah.
But her part is also not
Really hard.
easy
It's
No.
really
by
hard.
any means. I mean, she is a true professional. She.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, you can just see by that vein that pops at on that last note that she holds.
That's a singer's vein.
Yeah.
No, she's got such a dynamic part
Mhm.
Yeah.
with where you maintain.
the sort of the
Ex-
ditzy and then
exactly.
like the soulful, like.
Yeah.
But for being such a tiny body, she is a huge voice, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are here for it. We are here on Skid Row.
Absolutely. It's a great song.
So people are getting eaten by the plant. Pressure's building. Jim Belushi shows up. He wants, Seymour has all this success now. He wants to take cuttings. We want a plant in every home. It's just getting out of control. And it's, as he says now, Seymour says, it is between me and the vegetable. Which I liked that.
And just put a little pin in this part of our discussion because
Yes.
we'll be rewinding back to this point in discussion
So
in a little while.
Okay.
in the version that you watch,
This is where the endings
They
diverge.
diverge, yes.
so in the version that you watch, Tui exposes a very dangerous root system and also little blooms as well. And this is all it's very scary. Reveals extraterrestrial.
Mm-hmm.
And I am here for a purpose. I've just been exploiting you basically. But through the power of electricity, Tui gets exploded. Audrey and Seymour get the life that they dreamed of. And they go to their little home and they have a little garden and Audrey too there.
With a little smile effect.
Green, which is again adorable. So there's that, which is like action packed but concise.
Mm-hmm.
and a happy ending
With the happy ending you
Very
want.
happy ending.
with a little sci-fi twist there.
Right. Can I say, real quick,
Please.
when Rick Moranis, during that sequence, Chewie pulls the roof down, it collapses on top, blah, 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 the whole thing. And then, of course, and then the plant blows up, and then Audrey's sitting there waiting, and there's smoke, and then Rick Moranis finally emerges from the smoke. So, yes.
The hero theme.
Yes. But I was thinking, like, wow, he looks exactly the same with the end of Ghostbusters after this.
Yes.
after Zool explodes, marshmallow everywhere or whatever. I'm like, Rick Moranis gets up, Like, yeah, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
Anyway, okay, go ahead.
Well, so that's one ending.
Yes.
When I did this show, we did the other ending.
Okay.
The Broadway ending.
Yeah, but it went really fast. Like it was like Audrey's dead, Seymour's dead.
Yeah,
like
so-
it was just like that. It was quick and kind of still like it was a little sad, but it wasn't really sad because it was more like funny.
But yeah, what happens in the stage production and was filmed for this originally is the plant lures Audrey in just like in the theatrical version.
Oh yeah, because they're gonna get married.
And
yeah.
and tries to eat her. And instead of surviving, she's going to die. And she
Right.
says, "Feed me to the plant," and sings a beautiful
Rendition.
reprise.
Reprise.
Somewhere that's
I
green,
will,
yeah.
I'll be with you forever. I'll finally be somewhere that's green, and he feeds her to the plant, and that scene is so long.
Okay,
It is.
the whole
It is so
the
long.
whole thing that we watched on YouTube is so fucking long. It is so drawn out to get her in the plant, to get him in the
Yeah.
plant. Then there's this battle, and like
Then
all
you get
of
the Mean Green Mother, battle.
and there's all this
in
stuff
both
Mean
that
Green
versions,
Mother,
but
yeah.
there's
Which-
all this stuff that they filmed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have a theory with
Okay.
with the "Don't Feed the Plants" number, which is a great number, and I'm sad that it was cut from the
But it's
film.
too long.
I don't think that all of that stuff that they filmed with all of the Audrey 2s charging down the street, destroying 50,000
Right.
walls. I don't think that they ever planned to actually show all of that.
Yeah,
There's no way.
that cut
Because
that we
it's
get
so long.
and their
think
deaths.
that cut
yeah.
that we see is them saying, "Here's all the footage that we did
Right.
that we ended up not using because we changed the ending."
Madness.
So on this DVD extras, we cut it together. Here's all of this crazy footage because there's no way
Right.
that they wanted that to be 10 minutes long
Right.
of
Okay.
them destroying destroying everything like that. There's
So
no way.
long.
There's
Mm.
just no way.
So long.
So according to Frank Oz and the extras on the Blu-ray,
Yes.
this is the ending that they wanted.
The bloated ending?
The bloated ending.
Okay.
They fought for it
Frame
really
for
hard.
frame.
Well, I mean, who knows frame for frame? He doesn't say, but I think when you film something, you wanted to use it. But he says they had a test screening in San Jose, right down the street from us.
Yeah.
Everyone was loving it in the audience. They were singing, they were clapping, they
Clapping,
were
oh.
happy.
Dancing.
Audrey dies. Seymour dies.
Right.
Silence. Just absolute silence. So when they took the polls at the end, everyone was just like, "What the fuck?"
Fuck that. Yeah.
Your two heroes just died.
Wow.
And Frank has this great analogy that he was like during a play, your main characters can die, but then they come back
They take a bow.
for the applause,
Yeah.
for the bow. And in a movie that doesn't happen. And so although he loved the original ending they filmed, he and this was all reshoots. They had to go back and redo
bet.
it all again and then cut it all together.
I love that analogy.
So
I think that's
Yeah.
very
it's very when you
poignant.
think about it, because there are a lot of
Yeah.
plays that end darkly, and you're like, and then they try to do these movies, and then they always change the ending to have a nice, happy, well wrapped up ending. And I think that's it. I think that's got to be the reason why they can never film the movie of a play the same way.
Yeah.
I think, especially too with like the casting and everything, it's like a silly show and the two people in it who are the leads are so, you know, charismatic and everything. I can imagine that watching the movie was probably very jarring for them to be like, well, this is kind of like dark, but it's still kind of silly.
Yeah.
But now they're just dead.
Yeah. They're like, this is 86. This isn't the 90s.
Right.
We're not ready for
Can't
that.
do that.
We haven't met Kurt Cobain yet.
Right.
No, I hear you. I agree. I like the theatrical ending better. I'll say it. It just
Unpopular
it makes my heart feel better on that side. I've seen it several times, the other version. And I even watched it a couple times because I have the thing where I can play the director's cut, as they call it. But I like how it ends. It goes on way too long.
Yeah.
It just goes on and on, especially when they're just attacking everything in the cities. It goes on so long. Like I like, you know, there's even that cool. Do you watch the bloopers? So when there's that cool scene where like when they're raising Rick Moranis to go into the plant, and he's like, "What about the sequel?" Like, when they're dropping him in, but I can deal with that. But that, goddamn, it goes on too long. So many
kind of
buildings blowing up, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
But it's also really cool miniature work, and I get it. You know, the guys
Absolutely.
spent a lot of time and a lot of money doing all of that.
So much they filmed.
You know.
I feel like they could have had their cake and eaten it too. I feel like they could have had the scene where Audrey thinks she's dying and she has her little reprise.
okay,
But she doesn't die. I think
Okay.
I think that you could have had, you know, Jim Belushi show up and have his scene, you know, like, hey, could you stop singing for just like, which is
Right.
I thought it was so funny. Yeah.
because them singing that is so corny.
Yes.
exactly.
And it's so forced. It's like, okay, it pays off.
Yeah.
And then you have him, and he kills Audrey too. But at the end, when they have their somewhere that's green, they have the little Tui
Okay.
in the you know, in the garden.
Yeah.
As that like final scare kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then you have going into the credits, behind the credits, you have he killed Tui, but they didn't really succeed, and they're still going to take over.
Okay.
the world.
Yeah. Absolutely. Agree
Yeah.
with that.
And, and you have all of that filming behind the credits.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that they could have done that had the music as the credit
Okay.
sequence. It could have been as long as you wanted it to be because it's running behind all of the
Right.
credits.
Yeah. And
So,
then it's
who
almost
cares
like
if it's 20
and then
minutes
it's almost
long?
like Seymour and Audrey almost don't care because they're happy.
Because they are
Yeah.
in there
They
somewhere
got
that's
their
green.
But like,
And hey, it could even be like maybe that's somewhere that's green. Maybe they're both dead. Maybe
Maybe they're
that's
both
their
dead.
memory.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That was better.
But they're only attacking the major cities, and now they're sitting somewhere
Right.
in the suburbs.
It's all about like
So-
fuck the big cities. Like,
Yeah.
move out to the country.
So
That's
I think there's a way that they
country.
could have had it both ways. So maybe there needs to
All
be
right.
maybe there needs to be a
There needs to be a
director's
fan cut.
Yeah, fan cut.
There you go.
And cut.
Or either have
The
that,
Scott
either that
cut.
or have,
Although-
have the cast come out doing their bow, have the original ending.
Yeah.
Have
them take a bow.
But then have the cast come out and do their bows over the credits.
Just like To Be or Not to Be.
Yeah. See?
That's what they do at the end of the Mel Brooks movie, To Be or Not to Be. They all come out.
That's a Mel Brooks movie I haven't seen.
Oh.
Oh, you might like it.
I'm sure I will. I don't think it's the Mel Brooks. Well, I don't really love Young Frankenstein.
Which is my favorite. Which is like the one that I will watch anytime.
It's boring.
I could see someone saying that.
Sorry, I said that to be a little
My-
bit. To be a little
But
bit.
I'm making espresso.
Okay, edgelord over there.
I know he's being an edgelord.
Wow.
Edgelord? Oh, jeez.
Just give him a fedora and a keyboard and a neck.
Well, Little Shop of Horrors.
Wow.
Little basement of
Yeah,
horrors.
So how long did that go on for?
That was a while.
Long time.
Hour and some odd. That's okay.
Hour
though.
and change.
It's weird because we didn't start like right at 7, so it's kind of hard to.
We
Yeah.
started at 7:30.
Oh, I actually do have a timer on here on the recording. So,
So that's okay.
Roger Corman?
Roger Corman? Y'all want to talk about some Roger Corman?
Let's do a Roger
Let's do an
Corman.
activity.
Let's do an activity.
All right.
Oh, can I have some more ice, producers?
So, oddly enough, producer Scott picked this for his birthday selection, and then not a week later, Roger Corman, the man who initially created The Little Shop of Horrors, the original film that this musical was based off of, passed away. Roger Corman, of course, is prolific. He is known as the king of B movies. He has I don't even know how many credits I was going through for this.
Because he would direct, he wrote, he
Produced.
acted.
He especially produced. He
Yeah.
has this production because New World and New Concord or whatever his films. I mean, I don't know, 300 films, 400 films.
Right.
It sure seems like a ton.
A lot.
Anyway, so we wanted to pay a little homage to Roger, and it worked perfectly with the fact that Scott picked this picture. That again, his original film is based on. So we're gonna play
Which Scott also loves.
Yes,
the original.
I do.
Yeah, it's a good film. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We're gonna basically play a little game. How well does our cult family know Roger Corman films? I'm gonna read the synopsis of Corman films, give them 3 possible title names, one of them being correct, 2 being false. We'll see if they can guess the correct name of the Corman film I'm describing.
491 credits.
491.
IMDb for
Jeez,
everything.
crazy.
Producer,
Okay.
director, actor.
Everything.
Yeah.
Cool.
Prolific.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's
Big
a career.
time. He was very active.
Yeah. Rest in power, Raj.
Yes. Thank you for the good times and the bad
Well
times.
done.
The good times. Okay. Are you guys ready?
Ready as we'll
You
ever
are playing
be.
with
Sure.
each other. You are the house. You are against me, the house.
Yeah, that we're against the house.
Okay.
All right. This 1988 film, Roger Corman was a producer on. A kid plays the old novelty song "Purple People Eater," and the creature actually appears. The two then proceed to help an elderly couple who are being evicted by their greedy landlord. Film starred Ned Beatty. Even Neil Patrick Harris is in this movie. What's the title of this movie? Purple People Eater, Happy Space Creature, One-Eyed, One-Horned Creature from Space.
Is it Purple People Eater?
Sure.
That your guess?
Yes, I guess.
That is correct. Purple People Eater
So
is the
I
name of this film.
saw that when I was a really little kid.
You've
on
seen it?
TV. I don't.
Wow.
It was like I was a very little kid, and
Okay.
I remember, just the skeleton of it. But I don't know if people know this about my obsession with the song "Purple People Eater."
Okay.
I have heard that song how many times? Who knows? So many. The One-Eyed, One-Horned Flying Purple People Eater. I laugh almost uncontrollably every fucking time I hear it. It just kills me. I love him. I want to get a job in a rock and roll band.
Tequila.
Tequila. I like short. God,
We wear short shorts.
it's so cute.
Yep. All right. Look, now we know. Blue velvet for when you want to make her uncomfortable. And the little purple people eater to make you happy again. Okay. In this 1956 film, in which Roger Corman directed,
Mhm.
an undercover policewoman helps 3 female convicts escape from prison so that they can lead her to a stash of stolen diamonds hidden in a swamp.
Okay, well, this sounds awesome.
Okay. Is this film called Swamp Woman, Bayou Breakout, or Jailbreak?
Oh.
Jailbreak?
Sure.
Jailbreak?
The correct answer is Swamp Woman.
Ah, that sounds awesome. I really would like to watch that one. I have not seen that one.
Okay.
I love the
Yet
premise.
pretty misleading.
Yeah. Yeah, because she's not like a woman of the swamp.
She's
like
not.
Swamp thing.
Or maybe she is. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
They create titles. One thing Corman was good for, he would create titles.
Awesome
Yeah.
titles.
Yes,
Right.
that had
Didn't
nothing.
matter. Kind of like
Yep.
the posters, right?
Right.
Exactly.
The
It's like-
poster on this is like great. He's got his hands tied behind his back, and she's holding a revolver up to his belly.
Oh shit!
It's a great cover.
Nice.
Actually, if you could put that on the monitor, is that possible? It's too late.
I
know
mean,
what
Never
my-
mind.
I
No,
know what
never
my
mind. You
next
can't. Don't worry
tattoo
about it.
is.
Don't worry about it. Yeah. Okay. 1957 film in which Corman also directed. A group of lonely Viking women build a ship and set off across the sea to locate their missing menfolk, only to fall into the clutches of the barbarians that also hold their men captive. Is this film called Quest of the Valkyries, Viking Women and the Sea Serpent, Queens of Valhalla?
I want it to be Queens of Valhalla.
Caleb have a guess? Care?
I like Flight of the Valkyries too, but let's go with Queens.
The answer is Viking Women and the Sea Serpent.
Fuck! Where's their sea serpent? They were in space. That's misleading.
All right, here's an easier one for you.
Okay.
1979. Ramones fanatic and delinquent Riff Randall battle it out with the strict new principal of Vince Lombardi High School. Is the name of this film
I got this one.
We got this one.
Smooth Jazz Prep, Christian Music Campus, or Rock and Roll High School?
Rock and Roll High School.
And we have seen that.
But
rock and roll
Smooth
high school.
Jazz. What was it?
Prep.
Prep. Ah,
Smooth
I might
jazz
have to
prep.
go there
Yeah.
for a visit. Take the tour at least.
Take the tour at least, yeah. It makes you want to go to Smooth Jazz Prep.
No comment.
All right, 1962.
Is Kenny G one of the? Is the Kenny G like
He is.
the
Obviously,
dean?
it's like the the dean, the superintendent, the
And also
Secretary.
right.
Zamfir, the master of the pan flute. He'll be there also.
What's with the pimp? I don't know what you're talking about, but I like
You
it.
don't know Zamfir?
So they do like new age stuff too.
They might,
Oh, what
yes.
about John Tesh?
Some John Tesh.
Yeah.
Oh, John
Some-
Tesh. There you
some,
go.
Who is that other guy with the Z?
Yanni? Was Yanni?
Yanni, yeah.
Yanni,
X
John
or
Tesh, and
Yanni,
Kenny G.
why? Yeah. I know.
Woo.
That's a school right there, right?
That's the school.
The School of Rock.
Now that's a concert, actually. That should be old.
Oh my God.
Jeez. There'd be a lot of suicides
I
after
would-
those concerts.
I would drop everything to go to a Yanni John Tesh concert.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
All
Like,
right.
especially if they were like at Red
You know,
Rocks or something.
I always heard a rumor that
My
the two of
God.
them didn't like each other.
Oh, really?
I don't. I could be wrong about that, but I have heard that rumor that the two of them.
I
don't
bet
like
that's
each
just
other.
a vicious rumor.
I don't know. I
They're
could see
just-
John
they're just
Tesh being an
selling
ass,
records.
actually.
No, I refuse to believe that any of that is true.
I don't know.
That's just vicious rumors. Everyone's telling lies. They're ignorant.
They're
They're all
ignorant.
just ignorant.
All right. This 1962 film, Corman directed. The twisted Richard III is haunted by the ghosts of those he has murdered in his attempt to become the King of England. Is this film called Ghosts on the Tower, Revenge of the Wronged, Tower of London?
Tower of London.
Tower of London.
That is
Tower of
correct.
London.
Very good.
Yes. And
You knew that
I
one.
do love Richard III.
You do. You love a good Richard III tale.
You
I
love
do,
any-
and I love
Yeah.
Vincent Price.
All right, this
I played
19...
Richard III. There's
1970
5 curtain
film.
calls. Anybody? No.
Which one? What?
I was quoting Alan Rickman in Galaxy Quest.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Yep, sorry.
wow.
I haven't seen that.
Wow.
I haven't seen that in a while. It's not a
I
while.
think that's an age
It might be.
thing.
It's actually a good movie.
It is a very
I
good
haven't
movie.
seen it in a long time.
Yeah.
Third best Star Trek film.
Nice. Okay, this 1970 film, directed by, again, Corman, a psychologically disturbed matriarch presides over her over her damaged family of bank robbing misfits. Psychologically disturbed matriarch presides over her damaged family of bank robbing misfits.
Okay.
Movie's tagline.
Chat. They can't see what I just put on the screen. I
can't either.
prematurely posted the answer
Oh,
to the
okay.
question.
The tagline for this movie is: you gotta believe, you gotta have faith, but first you gotta get rid of the witnesses. Is this movie's name Barker's Bloodshed,
The Goonies.
The Bloody Barkers, or Bloody Mama?
Bloody Barkers.
Any input, Caleb?
I'm trying to like the most whatever the most ridiculous.
Barker's
title.
Bloodshed, The Bloody Barkers, Bloody Mama.
Bloody
Kill-
Barkers.
Bloody Barkers. Sandra sounds very confident.
The answer is Bloody Mama.
See,
Fuck.
I told you. See, that's the thing. That's all I
Confidence is
want to
key.
do now is just go with the most ridiculous.
Okay.
Yep. All right, this 1998 film. He was a
Another
producer.
great poster.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Corman was a producer. A young girl who befriends an unlucky leprechaun has to save her home from a greedy town mayor. Believe it or not, Warwick Davis is the leprechaun in this movie.
Really?
So he was a good leprechaun and he was a bad
And he was
leprechaun.
an unlucky leprechaun.
Yep.
Poor
Is
guy.
this film called
Okay.
Unluck of the Irish, A Very Unlucky Leprechaun, or Unlucky Charms?
Just
Oh,
put it-
Jesus.
I just accidentally put it up again. I'm just gonna
It's
take
okay.
my
I can't
hand
see
off
it.
the mouse. I'm just communicating with
Which one
chat
do
in
you
the
want?
future right now.
Yeah, it's 1 or 3.
Unluck of the Irish, A Very Unlucky Leprechaun, Unlucky Charms.
Unlucky Charms is kind of funny.
What was the year, though?
98.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what
Alright.
chat thinks, but hopefully they're putting their
Alright.
answers in here.
Unlucky Charms.
Unlucky Charms.
The answer is
Not.
A Very Unlucky Leprechaun.
God damn it.
I came up with Unlucky Charms.
This
Oh, it's so good.
Right?
This poster.
Oh, my God.
Isn't it
Not
horrible?
good.
Oh, that is
Oh,
a...
no.
Oh, hell no.
A very unlucky poster.
Yes.
It looks like Pennywise is in that
Very unlucky.
sled.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Warwick.
Warwick kind of looks like a satyr or something. Kind of, he's
Has
kind
nails.
of goatish there.
I mean,
He does,
That
you're right.
hand does not look right.
Yeah. No.
Oof.
They did him so wrong.
Noise.
All right, this 1983 film, upon which Corman was producer, a mentally unstable elderly woman recently released from a mental asylum proceeds to slaughter all the guests staying at her motel. And no, it's not Psycho. Is the name of this film Grand Guignol Granny, Mountaintop Motel Massacre, or The Mountains Ran Red?
Mounts ran red.
What's the first?
Grand Guignol, you know, Grand Guignol.
Grand
Guignol. That's the French.
Yes.
The French horror theater.
Yes, yes.
Grand Guignol Granny, Mountaintop Motel Massacre, The Mountains Ran Red.
Mountains ran red.
The answer is Mountaintop Motel Massacre.
Mountaintop.
Grand Guignol Granny, that's a good one.
I love that one.
Grand Guignol.
That was too highbrow for me. That went right over my head.
I
I
love
just thought
the
you were
Grand
making noises
Guignol.
over there.
I was clearing my throat. I have a
I'm
sinus
sorry,
thing.
France. That wasn't a slight against you. That was
No,
a slight against him.
All right, this 1997 film, another again, Corman was producer. The luxury space cruiser, the Star Princess, is hijacked by the treacherous second mate, who threatens to blow up the craft unless he gets access to bank accounts on Earth. A beautiful passenger and courageous first mate attempt to thwart his schemes. Is this movie called Space Jacked, Star Whacked, or Galaxy Ransack?
Or the Fifth Element.
Again, Space Jacked, Star Whacked, or
Space
Galaxy
Jacked?
Ransack.
Space Jacked? We're going with Space Jacked.
That is correct.
Woo!
Good job.
Yay, yay,
I
yay.
got one.
You got it.
Space Jacked.
Space whacked though. That sounds.
Star Whacked.
Star whack.
Star Whacked, I like Star Whacked.
Star Whacked.
Star Whack
Quit
it.
star whacking in my shed.
My
Is that one of
shit!
Beavis and Butthead? You two is a whacking. Star whacking in my shed.
Shed. Why is there a shed?
2012, Corman producing. Aspiring college cheerleader Cassie consumes an experimental drug that grants her beauty and enough athletic ability to make the cheer squad. It has an unforeseen side effect. She starts to grow and grow and grow. Is this film called Buffy the Giant Cheerleader, Attack of the 50-Foot Cheerleader, Look at the Size of Her Pom-Poms?
Attack of the 55.
Attack of the
50-foot cheerleader.
That is correct.
Yes. We got
Very
one.
good, very good.
Please tell me that's the tagline, though.
I think it actually is, yes. I think it actually is.
Christ Jesus.
All
That
right.
is
Hey.
an inappropriate poster.
2 in a row though.
You guys are doing
We're
better.
on fire.
You got all
We're
the
on a-
rest
we're on
coming
a
now, I
roll.
think. All right, 1988. A boy takes in a stray dog, later discovering that it is an ultra-intelligent runaway being stalked by a dangerous creature from the same genetic research lab.
Oh no. Kind of sounds like
Lilo
Lilo
and
and
Stitch.
Stitch. Yeah.
Is this film called The Watchers, The Onlookers, or The Bystanders?
Watchers.
Patient 626.
Yeah, patient 627.
Same again. Sorry.
The Watchers, the Onlookers, or the Bystanders?
Watchers.
The Watcher.
Yeah.
It is the Watchers, of course.
Yeah.
It's that
Yeah.
famous Corey Haim film.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's a real thing.
Yeah. That
I
one.
recognize the poster.
Yes.
Yes.
3 in a row.
You guys are nailing it.
This basement's on fire.
All right, 1980 film.
Yes.
Sea creatures start killing a fishing town's residents and assaulting their women. It's up to the townsfolk and a visiting biologist to fight back and fend them off. Is this film called Humanoids from the Deep, Humanoids from the Lake, Senator Ted Cruz Goes on Vacation?
Humanoids from the deep.
The deep.
The Deep. The Deep it is.
The deep.
The deep.
The
The deep.
deep.
Beep, beep.
The deep. Deep.
The deep with Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz. 1963, Corman producing. A young French soldier cut off from his unit is beguiled.
Could you start again?
Yeah, a young French.
The year?
63.
Okay. Thank you. No, I
1763.
1963.
1963. Thank you.
A young French soldier
Yes.
cut off from his unit
Yes.
is beguiled by a mysterious woman whom he learns is the wife of the local baron and that she seemingly died 20 years earlier.
I think I've seen this.
This film stars Boris Karloff.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the horror,
No.
the terror,
Yes.
the frightening?
It's the terror.
It is the
I've seen it.
terror.
I've seen
Very
it.
good.
Jack Nicholson's in it.
Very good. Is he in the terror?
Yeah.
It makes sense. He was also in Little Shop.
Starring.
Yeah, see him
1,
down
2,
there, Jack
3.
Nicholson. Yeah.
4,
That's one of
5.
my favorite things about the original Little Shop is whenever you see it on a DVD or a VHS.
Yeah, it's always
it's
starring Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson.
Starring.
He plays the dentist. He's in it for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
No, he's
the Arthur
Denton,
Denton
Arthur Denton
character.
Oh no,
character.
that's
It's a
right.
different name,
No,
but
that's right.
it's
He
the-
is Arthur Dent.
You're
Yes,
right.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, 1959, Corman directing. A dim-witted busboy at a beatnik cafe passes off a cat he accidentally killed and covered in plaster as a sculpture, prompting a demand for more art that compels him to commit
I
murders.
know this one.
Mhm.
Is this movie called, let me finish, A Bucket of Blood, A Pail of Pain, or A Gaggle of Grotesque?
Although I like number 3.
Yeah.
It is number 1.
Bucket of Blood, very good. You guys have gotten them all correct now, very good.
You'll be sick. Sick from laughing.
Also a good film.
I like the title part.
Yes, that's cool. Okay, 2010, Corman is producing. Created in the laboratories of a biotech corporation, 2 ravenous mega reptiles level everything in their way. Now, 3 defenders must try to save the day. Who shall live and who shall die in the battle between giant lethal lizards?
I love
Leaping lizards.
Leaping lizards.
Is this movie called Attack of the Giant Ravenous Reptiles, Dino Croc versus Super Gator, or Marjorie Taylor Greene versus Lauren Boebert?
Definitely 3.
First of all-
what's the year of this?
First of all, that's
Yeah,
an
what was the
insult to reptiles.
You're right.
It is-
2010,
it's
Okay,
it's the
the second
croc.
one.
Croc,
Then, yeah.
yeah.
Dino Croc versus
Yeah.
Super Gator. 1978, Corman producing when flesh-eating fish are accidentally released into a summer resort's rivers, the guests become their next meal. Is this film called Piranha, Pufferfish, Jam Band Fish?
It's the
you
first
know
one.
piranha.
It's piranha.
It is.
But I love that it's jam band fish. There it is.
That's,
All right.
that's a great poster.
Two left.
Two left.
1983, a futuristic, sensitive tale of adventure and confrontation when a 10-year-old boy is accidentally kidnapped by a spaceship filled with a motley crew of space pirates.
Guardians of
The
the
galaxy, yeah.
Is this
Volume
film?
1.
Is this film
It's
called?
Farscape.
Oh,
Is it Space Pirates, Space Raiders, or Beware of Kevin Spacey? Space Pirates, Space Raiders, Beware of Kevin Spacey.
Ooh, I'm so torn between those first two.
I think it's Space Pirates.
Space pirates. Pirates.
It's actually Space Raiders.
Yeah. Which one was Space Pirates?
Raiders.
You guys were really
I know. We were right there.
Raiders.
Final question. Final question.
So let's do this. What's going on top?
All right.
In 1974 film, in the Deep South, a trainer of fighting chickens takes a vow of silence and gambles his loves and possessions in a bid to win a championship.
True or false?
This film stars Warren Oates and Harry Dean Stanton.
Hey, Stanton, what's
Yeah.
up?
It is the film called Cockfighter, Poultry Pounder, or Chicken Choker.
The first one. I think that's the first one.
It's the first one, I believe.
It is Cockfighter. Sorry.
No.
You did such a good
Gotta-
job, Neil.
Kind of gave us that last one.
I know, sorry, but
And I appreciate that.
the tagline, he came into town with his cock in his hand and what he did was illegal in 49 states. Because it's about cockfighting and of course is illegal.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Anyway, I don't recommend that movie, by the way, because when I was looking for these films, I actually watched the trailer and there's like real,
Oh, shit.
you know, cockfighting and all kinds of stuff. It looks pretty brutal. So
Oh dear.
I don't recommend watching that movie.
No.
But otherwise,
Okay.
Not
there's
even for Henry Dean Stanton.
not even for the Henry. Yeah, don't do it for Dean, whatever I'm saying.
Dan, do it for Dan.
Yeah, but not for Dean. That's it. There's a little smidge of extreme gamut of Roger Corman films.
Yeah,
Love him or hate him.
whole bunch out there.
We need
lot.
our homework assignment.
All right, so your homework. I had so much fun talking with you guys about George Romero a couple weeks ago when we did Dawn of the Dead that I thought we would keep that going.
Okay.
So we're gonna get some George Romero.
All right.
We're gonna get some Tom Savini.
All
I'm
right.
here for
We're
that.
gonna get some Ed Harris.
Oh,
Wow.
And no, I'm not talking about Creepshow.
Oh.
We're gonna do Night Riders.
Oh,
Night Riders,
Never
okay.
heard of it.
This movie, then that's Night with a K, by the
Yes.
way. This movie is available everywhere.
Please watch it.
Tubi, Prime,
All the places.
yeah, all the places.
Okay, cool.
Pluto, yeah.
Excellent. I'm very happy to talk more George Romero.
Always.
More
George.
Tom
I mean,
Savini.
hopefully we have just as much fun as we did a few weeks ago.
Fingers
Absolutely.
are crossed.
Should we give it to producer Scott? Happy birthday again,
Happy
by the way.
birthday.
Happy belated birthday.
Happy
Sorry
birthday.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right.
Are you saying you want the credits?
Yeah, let's
Yeah, do that too.
let's hear a reprise.
4 years we've been doing this. I still haven't really figured out what your side is for. All right.
Oh yeah, that's right. Thanks to everyone in the chat.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you, pod people.
Cultshow.com/store if you want to check out some merch.
Yep.
Fangoria.
Fangoria, our code
The Pulp Show.
is Cool Show.
There you go.
20% off.
Yeah.
Gonna do it anyway.
Practically free.
Yep.
Minus
Happy birthday, producer Scott.
Woo!